The skill we're going to learn today is converting entire radical to mixed radical. So what is entire radical? So this one is entire radical when all the numbers is inside the radical sign. And mixed radical, you have a whole number in front of it. It could be an integer, rational number, mixing with a radical. So that's a mixed radical. And then why do we want to convert entire radical to mixed radical? The reason is, if you put this number in the calculator, you realize they all have the same value. Okay? They're all irrational number. Well, how come they're irrational number? Because it's inside the square root. So put this in the calculator, you will see they all equal one another. So which is the best representation? They are different. They have different forms, but then again they represent the same irrational number. So therefore, if we are able to convert it all to the mixed radical, then we can tell they are the same. So this is the desired form because this is a radical, mixed radical in the lowest form, in the lowest term or simplest term. How come? Because the radicand part has the smallest number. Instead of having 80, 20 or 5, this is the smallest. So this is the mixed radical in simplest form. So how do we do that? How can we convert the radical? Alright, so we'll see. First, you need to know all your square. Now this is a list of perfect square, and you need to know them. Why? Because perfect square, when you take the radical, they become a whole number. That's what we're trying to do. So, for example, root 28. We're using this identity here. Root of a product will give you root A, root B. So if you have root AB, you can write that as root A times root B. So this is what we are basing our conversion on. So if I have root 28, I examine my list, see which number go into 28. The answer is 4. So I'll write 28 as a product A and B here, A and B. And now, according to this property, I can change root 4 times 7 to root 4 times root 7. And now you recognize root 4 is actually a whole number. That's a 2. So 2 root 7. You don't need to put a times sign here. You could put it there, nothing wrong, or you can just leave it out. So 2 root 7 means 2 times root 7. That's the simplest form. You are converting an entire radical to mixed radical. Let's try with root 150. Again, examine the list of all square. You realize 25 will go there. And then 25 times 6. You can put it in your calculator and then you'll find out that's the result. And then that's root 25 times root 6. Well, root 25 is a 5. See? You're converting root 150 to 5 root 6. You may ask, what do you do with the root 6? Because 6 is not a perfect square, it remains in the root sign. Finally, root 538, 539. You say, wow, that's such a big number. Well, again, use your calculator. And since this is an odd number, you only need to try all the odd perfect square here. You don't need to try other number. You don't need to try 3, 5, 7. You're only interested in the square root. So there's only a few choices. Put in a calculator, and then you find out 49 will work. So 49 times, for this one, 49 times 9, is it? 49 times 11? And then now we can skip a step. Like the next step is root 49 times root 11. But root 49, we know is 7. So you just jump to the answer like that. Alright? Now I'll give you more challenging example. You can see. So the next page, we have this example here. Again, I have a list of perfect square on top. So to help me know what are the candidates of number I'm looking for. Here, this is already a mixed radical. Okay, well the questions say convert it to mixed radical, but simplest form. So let's think about what square go here. Well, 9 goes there. Again, use your calculator if you need to. Alright, and now root 9 become a 3. Well, what do you do with the 3 and negative 4 here? Negative 4 is there. Root 9 become a 3. root 5 remain a root 5. So it's right there. So what do you do with this two number here? Remember, it's implied it's multiplying, so just multiply them. Root 12, negative 12, root 5. Let's do one more with fraction. Same idea, this means multiply. So what's square going to 32? You examine 4 going to 32, but there's a larger perfect square that will go into 32, which is 16. Use the larger one. Alright, so let me write down all the steps so that you can see. So you separate this into two separate radicals. Root 16 is a 4. So this bracket means it just helps you to read it properly. This means multiplying all the terms together. How do you multiply fractions? Denominator, numerator go with numerator, denominator go with denominator. 3 times 4 is 12, divided by 2 is a 6. The other way is you can cancel the denominator with the numerator, leaving a 2 there. 2 times 3 is a 6. Okay, so this you can combine the numbers here into a 6. The radical remain a radical. So this is how you convert an entire radicals to a mixed radical.